Three, two, one, action. Welcome back to episode 53 of As Seen on Screen. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Gracie, and we're your source for all things entertainment news, reviews, interviews, and more.
You can find us wherever you get your podcasts on Spotify and YouTube. Well, welcome back to another week here on the show. We are so happy you're here. Thank you for joining us to hear all the latest in entertainment news. We have a lot to go through today. I feel like I know I say this all the time, but it's true. There's always something to talk about. But starting out with something Gracie and I are very excited about. We've been so excited to chat about this all week with you. Taylor Swift. Big news for us Swifties and for Miss Swift herself. She purchased the ownership of her master recordings of her first six albums from Shamrock Capital. So, of course, that includes Debut, Fearless, Speak Now, Red, 1989, and Reputations. And this comes after a long dispute dating back from especially 2019 when Scooter Braun sold her masters without allowing her the opportunity to buy them herself. And also with the music for this deal, it includes videos, concert films, photography, art, and more that Miss Taylor Swift now has complete ownership of all. Gracie, how were you feeling when you first saw the post that Taylor Swift posted of her holding all her albums? And it was so cute, and the letter that she posted on her website. What were you feeling?
I'm gonna be so honest, I could not read the letter. The font was so small that I was like, girl, what? And I love the memes where it's like Taylor before her eye surgery, Taylor after LASIK eye surgery, and it shows the note she wrote. I
That's
thought
good.
that was funny. But once I zoomed in and was able to read it, um, I'm just happy for her. Like, obviously, I say we, she has been working towards this since 2019. She's been very vocal about wanting to have the rights to her masters, which rightfully so, because they're all about her, they're about her life. She made them. It just makes sense that she would own them. I was really thrown off though when I saw the post because I was like, are we having a sale? Like, what's going
Are
on?
we having a sale? Is this a garage sale?
Well, no, because like when she posts like, oh, my merch is available on my website.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait, you don't own any of these. What are we doing? So all around very happy, a little bit upset because I don't know what this means for Reputation, Taylor's version, but I can look past that for her being happy and her having the rights to everything again. Um, I like the rumors that she's merging all of the Taylor's versions with her normal original versions just to make it like one big thing instead of like making fans choose between which version they like better. Um, yeah, just a lot is going on. And I mean, I know this isn't the important part, but I love the memes that have come out of it.
You're like, the social media scrolling has been great.
Social media has been popping off with this news, and I think it's so great. There's one of like someone dancing, and it says like Travis bumping 1989 original version. Like, it's just silly things that were like, okay, girly pop won, and now we can all be happy again. I think my favorite one though is people saying like, I'm so glad I bought Eras Tour tickets because that was the fundraiser towards buying
Yeah.
back her masters. And I'm like, wow, we contributed.
I think that's so funny. But I think my favorite one I've seen is all the people on TikTok posting their Taylor's version tattoos and being like, now what do I do?
So real. Do you remember that guy that had all of the albums tattooed on his back?
No.
Oh, I think about him all the time. Whenever Taylor Swift does something, I'm like, I wonder how this man is doing because he had all of her albums. I think it was up until like, I want to say 1989 was the last one I saw. And he has the track list as well tattooed under each one. And
No.
I think about him whenever Taylor Swift does something because I'm like, how's your back looking now with all of the Taylor's versions, with all of the surprise drops? Like, how are we looking? So,
This is the danger of tattoos, everyone.
thoughts and
Like,
prayers out to that man. Um,
yikes.
But I really hope we get an updated picture soon. I'll insert the picture because it's insane.
That's crazy. But I want to go back to Reputation for a second because you brought it up there. Because the letter did clarify that she has, in fact, only recorded a quarter, re-recorded a quarter of Reputation. So it sounded like from the letter that we probably might not be getting a full Reputation Taylor's version because she said it was the album out of the six that she felt strongest about and felt that she couldn't truly improve upon it as much as she felt with the other albums. It was very specific time in her life that she created Reputation. But she did say that if we as fans would like it, she would maybe release the vault tracks for Reputation. But she did also say that Debut is fully re-recorded, and she said she might also release that in the future if that is something fans are interested in as well. So as a day one country Taylor stan, I would love to see Debut get a re-release. That would be appreciated. But it'll be interesting to see what she does, as those are the last two. But I kept seeing people on TikTok as well saying, because the thing was before she got her master's back, everyone was like debating what one she'd release first because it was like, will she get her name back or her reputation back first? And now everyone's like, she bought back her master's with her name and has her reputation or something. Like they flipped it and whatever without having to like re-release them basically. So I thought that was cute.
Yeah, there's a lot of mixed emotions. I mean, if she does, I love when she says, if that's something you guys want, like we haven't been
Taylor,
clowning about it for
come on.
over a year now. Yeah, I just find it so funny that everybody was like, oh my God, Rep is going to be announced like this time and this time. Meanwhile, she hasn't even recorded like half of it.
Remember last week on the show when we were
Yeah, where I
at
was
the
like, we're
AMAs?
getting it. This girl hasn't even recorded it, so I feel stupid. But listen, the fact that she recorded Debut, all I have to say about that is you better pull that country accent out of somewhere. I'm so glad you brought back your masters because I mean, Debut is one that I'm like, I don't think it can be re-recorded.
That is such a, to me, that is such a specific time in her life. Like that's her
Yeah.
first album. That's her breaking into the true like music scene. They're from specific times in her life as a high schooler. It's like her baby sound. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just, oh, I
Like
love it.
that's one that I would be okay not getting a re-recording, but getting the vault tracks.
I had a full 20-minute conversation with this girl I'm friends with in Australia who's a Swiftie. And I was asking her if she knew the song I'd Lie. I've talked about this before on here.
Nicole's
And if
number one song.
and if anyone doesn't know what that is, it is an unreleased song. It's never been released by Taylor to this day. But I've been listening to it since I was like 4 years old, and my dad used to burn CDs for me. And I don't know how he found this, but it's also released on Spotify. You can hear it. People have uploaded it as like a podcast on Spotify, so you can find it on YouTube, whatever. Um, and I literally wore an I'd Lie bracelet to the Eras tour and made one. And I really hope if we do end up ever getting either debut re-recording or just the vault tracks for debut, I'd Lie needs to be on there. I will die. I don't think you'll understand how happy I will be on that day, but I digress.
You know, Taylor Swift is keeping us on our toes, and I mean, that's nothing new, but we'll see what she does next now that she gets to enjoy having all of her masters back and planning what I'm sure will be more Easter eggs and albums to come.
Yep, I
But
agree.
moving away from Taylor Swift to more fun news in the entertainment world, Netflix had its TUDUM event, and there was a lot. There was indeed a lot. Starting off strong, though, we had a lot of release dates. I'm not gonna lie. There were some trailers mixed in there, but solely release dates are the things that most people care about because we want to count down. We want to count down to the days we
We
get new content.
we have some countdowns going now.
So, starting off strong, Nobody Wants This season two has an official release date of October 23rd, 2025. So, only a few-ish months away.
I just need to say, I am so impressed with how quickly they turned the show around because it only came out September 26th, I believe, of last year. So that is just over a year after the first season came out. And that is a win in my books. I am
Yeah.
so thrilled about that.
Yeah, I need more productions to be this fast with turnaround times because I would much prefer this as opposed to waiting like 5 years for a season two.
Which is a great segment and segue into the next one.
No. I didn't even realize. But yes, great segue into the Stranger Things universe, which has been a long time coming. Season five is going to be an even longer time coming because they split it into not one, not two, but three parts. So, Nicole, tell us what parts we have for this final season.
Okay, Volume 1 is coming November 26th of this year. Volume 2 will be coming out just almost a month later on Christmas Day, December 25th. And Volume 3 just a week after that on New Year's Eve or December 31st, which I keep talking to people about. And some people have very strong opinions about whether it's a good idea to release it on Christmas, New Year's Day, or whether it's a bad idea. Because some people are saying that's great, probably to up their viewership, because most likely less people are watching Netflix and streaming services on holidays like Christmas and New Year's Eve. You're with family, you're with friends, you're out, you're celebrating, whatnot. And now many people will probably be tuning in to watch Volume 2 and 3 of Stranger Things Season 5, especially I'm sure Volume 3, because that is the full finale. So I could see that for sure. But also just, it's an I was thinking like Boxing Day maybe would have been a really great choice instead of Christmas Day. I feel like Boxing Day is notoriously maybe more the day you can like chill out and relax and just like watch TV and hang with family because the holidays are done. But I mean, maybe not. Maybe as many people celebrate on Boxing Day as Christmas Day too. So
It's about to be
I
like,
don't
hey, open all your presents, now sit down, shut up, and watch Stranger Things.
know, literally. But like honestly, it's wild. I was in my senior year of high school when season 4 came out and watching it, and now I will be a senior in university when the next season comes out.
Do you remember how like monumental the first season was?
Yes.
Like,
Yes, it
I
was
don't know
crazy.
how the world is going to survive or move on now that this is finishing.
Like I was in grade 7 when the first season came out, I think.
I like I
That's
can't even
crazy.
remember watching the first season. I know
That's
I did, but like
crazy.
I it seems so long ago.
Right? That's crazy.
Anyway, the world will be a different place once Stranger Things is finished, but like the Duffer Brothers obviously have more up their sleeve, not for the Stranger Things universe, but like their universe.
Absolutely.
So we'll
And
see what they do.
I do love all the fan theories online of like figuring out how it's going to end, and people are hoping that they filmed a scene when they filmed the first season of the boys playing Dungeons and Dragons and like imagining if any of that was real. And I don't know if I want it all to be fake. Like that's crazy. Imagine spending how many years of our lives watching this show and its
Listen,
ending is like, just kidding. None of that
I will
happened.
literally throw my computer across the room. Like, I feel like that's such a cop out, but also it could work in this sense. So we'll see.
Yeah. It depends on
Mostly,
what, yeah.
there's going to be controversy either way on how it ends. Like,
Yeah.
people are going to love it, people are going to hate it, just the way TV goes.
You can never make everyone happy.
Yeah. But what we are happy about is Knives Out. Wake Up, Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery finally got its release date of December 12th, and it is dubbed as Benoit Blanc's most dangerous case yet. And I know Nicole and I have both been so extremely excited for this third Knives Out film.
I cannot wait. I've been loving the teaser trailers that they dropped really up until the first like trailer that we got. I was loving the little teasers. I love the first official trailer that we got, although it's not a full trailer anyways yet. But I am so excited to see this. I love how everyone has had such a different feel. Like, we
Mm,
had the first one in the mansion that had very like dark foresty vibes, whatever. And then the second one was on the island. We see in the glass onion. It was very like not tropical, but more like vacation-y getaway type vibes. And this one feels again a lot more darker and twistier. It has kind of like a churchy vibe to it from the
mhm.
trailer that we got. So I'm very intrigued to see more material as we get fuller trailers leading up to the release.
We're really just going with the ending of TV shows here.
Literally.
Squid Game season 3, the final season, finally has a release date for June 27th. And I have been anxiously awaiting this release since I binged the second season. I don't know how they're going to finish this. I have no clue what they have up their sleeve for this because the second season just ended on such like a plot twist cliffhanger. So I don't know. I'm forever in awe of what they create, and hopefully it's something that makes fans happy.
Well, in other TV show news at TUDUM, we also got the first 6-minute look at Wednesday's season 2, which is releasing in two parts, not three, two parts, on August 6th and September 3rd, respectively, this year. From the first 6 minutes, this is looking much more violent in comparison to the first season, where it starts off with, with Jenna Ortega's character, Miss Wednesday, is in a serial killer's basement.
That's not out of the ordinary for Wednesday Addams. So, I like the darker turn they're taking to the Addams Family story because obviously we already have all of the movies and the TV show. So it's cool to see how each adaptation has its own kind of take.
It feels like its own little universe that they're building, and everything feels different and original. And even though, like you said, we have so many different Addams Family material, everything feels unique in its own way, which is nice.
But last up on our list, we have Happy Gilmore 2 trailer. The official trailer dropped. Am I the only one who's like gagged with the fact that Eminem is in it?
They pulled out the most random cast members they could find for this film, I swear.
Like, damn, this was a star-studded trailer. Marcelo Hernandez was my big focus. But
Yeah.
no, it looks promising. It will be releasing officially on July 25th. So, we're close. It's only like a month-ish.
It's true. It's not that far away. It's July is next month. That is crazy. How does it already July next month? Wow, that was a big.
That's our big realization for this episode.
No, I'm excited. Like you said, I agree. It looks nice. I think it's funny that there's a bit of like a little Hubie Halloween reunion, obviously, between Julie Bowen and Adam Sandler. Not only that, I mean, obviously, I know the first film is a reunion in itself, but more recently, we've seen them together in Hubie Halloween. Also, Adam Sandler's daughters were in both films. They're in this new Happy Gilmore 2. They were in Hubie Halloween, so I think it's cute how I feel like Adam Sandler really has his own like film family. You know what I mean? He
Mhm.
has he has, Drew Barrymore, I feel is very much in that. Julie Bowen is very much in that. Obviously, all of his friends that we see in the Grown Ups movies, I feel like they're all just one big happy film family, and I do love that. So I'm very intrigued to see what they do with Happy Gilmore too. Before we stop talking about Tudum, I need to say I did not know where the name came from for this until I saw TikTok about it a few weeks
Nicole.
I did not. I had no idea. And then I was watching a TikTok and people were like, I have no idea where this came from. And someone in the comments was like, when you log into Netflix and it does that doo-doom. And I was like, oh,
Are you?
okay. I didn't think
Am
that
I the
deeply about
only
it.
person who like knew this from the first TUDUM event they had?
I think so because everyone on TikTok seemed just as confused as I was.
Wow, I'm finally ahead of the curve. Like, guys, even their promo, did you not see the video where it was like the billboard turning and it made the TUDUM noise?
Nope.
Am I just tripping? Like, okay. But like good for you. Good for you for figuring it out.
Anyways, moving away from Netflix and onto another streamer, Apple TV Plus, they have announced their season 4 release date for the beloved show, at least beloved for me because I love it. The Morning Show, of course, starring Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. It will be released on September 17th of this year, so we just have a few more months until Alex and Bradley are back on our screen. So this new season they have announced will be set almost 2 years after the events of the third season's finale. And if you don't remember how the third season ended, the last few minutes saw Alex going with Bradley to turn herself into the FBI with her brother Hal for covering up his actions during the January 6th Capitol riots, because as we know, Bradley was there. She won awards in the show for capturing footage of the riots, but she did see her brother brother and the riots and hid that footage. So she's we assume, is going to confess for the felony charges that she will be put against her for covering up that footage and for what she knew about her brother's involvement. But then we also see Alex return to UBA, where her idea for the merger between their company and their rivals, NBM, is occurring. So lots going on with this 2 year time jump. I'm intrigued to see what will happen with what is happening between the two broadcast companies, what ended up happening with Bradley and Hal, what this means for the dynamic between Alex and Bradley. Um, there's always a lot going on in the show, so I'm intrigued to see what they do. I love the busyness of it because that really feels in tune with big news corporations. They just never ending. There's 8 million things going on with everyone all at once. So I'm intrigued. I love the show, so I'm very excited.
Moving away from Apple TV, we have the season 22 lineup for Variety's Actors on Actors. And it's a stacked cast as usual. I feel like if it wasn't, I would be concerned. Um, but starting off strong, we have Colin Farrell with Danny DeVito.
Then next up, we have a fun pairing, a father-son pairing with Arnold and Patrick Schwarzenegger.
Then we have Dave Chappelle with Mo Amer.
Then we have one I'm extremely excited to watch, Seth Rogen and Jason Segel.
We have Parker Posey and Lisa Kudrow.
Then we have Cooper Koch and Sam Nivola.
Then we have Sterling K. Brown and Natasha Rothwell.
Then we have Amanda Seyfried and Adam Brody. Of course, Mr. Adam Brody is in Nobody Wants This. We were just talking about it, so I'm intrigued to see what he has to say.
Then we have Javier Bardem with Diego Luna.
Following that up, we have Joe Locke and Charlie Cox.
Then we have Kate Hudson with Catherine Hahn, which is also a nice little reunion for them.
Then we have Carrie Russell and Scott Speedman.
Then we have Adam Scott and Kristen Bell, who is also in Nobody Wants This with Adam Brody.
A Severance and Nobody Wants This matchup. I am so excited. I can't. Oh, that's gonna be such a good conversation. And closing it out, we have Kathy Bates and Billy Bob Thornton.
So there are a lot of, I mean, as always, there's a lot of A-listers, a lot of strange pairings that you wouldn't normally think to put together, but will obviously make for a very good conversation. Um, as always, I consider this a win. I love actors on actors. They really pair people together that we didn't know we needed, but we need.
I agree. And we're gearing up to Emmy season. So we're getting, these are all for the TV show promos. So I'm excited to see it.
This is actually so crazy that award season is like slowly coming back around. Like, what? Okay.
Where has the time gone? I
Yeah,
feel like
like
it's
Emmys
always,
basically is like the start of the award season.
like, I
So
almost feel like it's always award season, to be honest, because as soon as the Oscars end in March, and then, like I said, like the Emmy preparation's already coming around already. It's June.
that's
Like,
true.
it's
I
always
mean,
award season.
before the Emmys, we do have the Tonys coming up.
Yes, this week.
So technically it's starting.
Crazy.
Nicole, what is last on our list? Because I know you are super excited about this.
Me? No.
Never.
We got news this week that Freddie Prinze Jr. and Rachel Lee Cook are reuniting over 20 years after the release of the 90s rom-com She's All That. The pair will be starring in The Christmas Affair, a new Fox holiday film. According to Deadline, the synopsis reads, The Christmas Affair follows superstar sportscaster Natalie, played by Cook, and Gabe, Prince Jr., who form an unlikely alliance after their spouses are caught cheating weeks before Christmas. As holiday chaos and media attention mount, they begin to fall for each other. But is this just a rebound or the start of a real Christmas romance? You know, I feel like this is, you know what happened with what was that? Is it Good Morning America? Or what was that news show with the
Oh,
two
it was Good
actors?
Morning America.
Right? Like I don't know if it was necessarily at Christmas, but that sounds like what
Ah,
happened between them.
you know, sometimes life happens and you just gotta go make a Hallmark movie out of it.
Listen, this isn't even Hallmark.
Well, like Hallmark-esque.
True. I am. I think it's funny, this new like surge of sports Christmas movies last year on the
Well, they're
Hallmark
doing
Channel.
a Bills movie. Not to
Yes,
cut
last
you
year.
off, but like we
Yeah,
had the Chiefs love story, now we have the Buffalo Bills. Speaking of
that's what
which,
I'm saying.
congratulations to Josh Allen and Haley because they got married.
She looked gorgeous.
They did look
And
gorgeous. Sorry, segue. Continue.
no, I was just gonna say, like last year, like you said, we had the Kansas City Chiefs on Hallmark. Now this year we have the Buffalo Bills one coming. Now we have this movie. There's like a big surge, I feel like, of not necessarily just football, but sports holiday films, which I think is funny.
People are finally admitting that it's okay to enjoy Hallmark-esque movies.
Guys, it's a guilty pleasure you should be proud of. I rep that title year round, as we know.
It's true. Well, that is all of the news we have today, Nicole. So, what is your watch of the week?
I'm so glad you asked because I'm excited to talk about this because Gracie and I were chatting a bit before. I went and saw Lilo and Stitch, which has received quite mixed reviews, I feel like, overall, with the media over the past little bit since it's been released. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very faithful to the original. I've only seen the original once when I was a kid, but I was reading the synopsis about it before I went in, and I went with my friend Megan, who is a Lilo and Stitch, specifically Stitch, super fan. She loves him. So I was intrigued to see what her review of it was going to be. And after we got to the movie, both of us were crying. We cried multiple times. Like, there was one point her and I looked at each other and tears were just streaming down our face, but that's okay. Um, I found it to be pretty faithful to the original film. Of course, a few things are changed, but nothing overly drastic that it changed the entire plot of the film or that it took away from the emotionality of the film. I still found it, like I said, I sobbed. So I found this to be very heartwarming and very touching. I liked the animation style of it. I thought the animation style was great. Obviously, we've seen so many promotions with Stitch in it. Stitch looked great, but all the other characters that were animated also looked great in the film. I thought it was interesting when we see the characters, some of them go from their alien form to their human form, and I thought that transformation looked great. Some people online were talking about how it looked wonky. But again, I thought it looked great on the big screen. So I was very pleased with that style. I was so glad to hear Chris Saunders back as Stitch, because of course he voices Stitch in the original Lilo and Stitch. So he did a fantastic job as per usual. I have to say too, the performances, especially Maya Kealoha, who plays Lilo, oh my goodness. They could not have found a cuter kid to play Lilo. She perfectly captured her like eccentric, uh, rebelling little phase as a little 6-year-old running around. I loved her. I thought her and like obviously the scenes that she has with Stitch, they're just so cute and they're so playful, so full of love. Her relationship with her sister, who's played by Sydney Agudong, amazing. She also put on a great performance. I really felt the sisterly bond between them, and I think they had great sisterly chemistry together, those two specifically. Um, the relationship really shone through when it needed to. Of course, we see scenes where they butt heads a bit. Then we see scenes, obviously, where it's a bit more lovey-dovey between the two of them. And I really felt that heartfelt connection that they had as actors between the two of them, and their characters embodied that as well. So I loved that. I thought it was really great. I think they did a great job of bringing this to the big screen as live action. You know, Gracie and I have talked quite a bit about sequels and remakes and all the Disney live action films. And I think this is one of the better ones we've seen from Disney live action specifically. So I'm very happy to report that this was a very good watch for me. And I think you should all go see Lilo and Stitch in the theaters because it's a great watch to see on the big screen. Oh, I also want to mention I haven't seen all of it, but I did start Adults on, it's on Disney Plus. If you're in the States, that's on Hulu. It's so funny. I've only seen the first episode and I'm already hooked. I can't wait to keep watching it. I think the performances are hilarious. The friendship chemistry we have and the romantic chemistry between some of the characters is great. The premise, if you haven't heard, is basically about a bunch of mid-20-year-olds friends living in a house together. There's there's four there's three of them that live together and then a boyfriend. So the group dynamic is just really funny. And I have read what the other episodes are about, and the plots are just so outrageously hilarious. I love it. So you should definitely start watching if you haven't, Adults on Disney Plus and Hulu. Miss Gracie, what is your watch of the week?
Okay, I didn't have a lot of time to watch this week. Um, But I did finish We Were Liars, which I still can't talk about, but thank you to Amazon Prime Video for the early screeners. Um, so that was good. That was it was cool watching it after reading the book. So the book was fresh in my mind to watch this live adaptation, which we will be talking about when we can talk about it.
Yes, we
Um,
will.
Other than that, I started rewatching North of North, which is a Canadian comedy show on Netflix, which everyone should go watch because it just got renewed for season two a few weeks ago, which is so amazing for Canadian media. Um, but everyone in this cast is just so extremely talented. The dynamic just works so well between everyone in this cast. And I cannot wait to see what they come up with season two. And the lead, Anna, is just she's so talented. She's so beautiful, number one, but she is also so extremely talented and gives me so much hope for like Canadian media and content and what it can be in the coming years. So definitely check out North of North on Netflix. Nicole, what is your song of the week?
Ooh, I haven't been listening to anything new this week, but one song that specifically kept coming on my playlist was the song Wild as Her by Tyler Joe Miller. He's a country artist. It's not a new song or anything, but it's a song that I like. I like Tyler Joe Miller. He's a good singer. He has some good discography going on. He has some good music. I really do like his songs. So that's what I was listening to this week. What about you? What was your song of the week?
Number one, Leave Me Alone, Renee Rapp is such a good song. Like it's totally different than what she's done before, which I love for her because now she's showing like she can belt, but she can also do like these dramatic songs. Um, I was gonna say a different word, but I can't say that. Um, so I love that. Yeah, I loved her live performance at the AMAs. She absolutely ate that up. But also I love the song The First Time by Damiano David off his new album, Final Affairs. I literally gave that whole album like a listen through and I love this song. It's just so cute and obviously it's about his relationship with Dove Cameron. So I just love the way he talks about her and the way they vibe and I think it's just adorable.
Oh, I love that. You are Damiano David's number one fan.
Literally,
Well, that is all we have to share for this week in the weekly watch and listen department. So let's get into our very last segment of the day. As always, upcoming releases. Starting off today, June 5th, with some Netflix releases. We have Tires Season 2.
and we have Ginny and Georgia season three.
Yay! I'm excited. Then we're going to June 6th in theaters. We have Dangerous Animals.
Also in theaters, we have From the World of John Wick, obviously, the John Wick Ballerina.
We also in theaters have The Phoenician Scheme.
Also in theaters, we have The Ritual.
Also on June 6th, Straw on Netflix.
Then we have Predator, Killer of Killers on Hulu.
Then, also in theaters with a limited release, we have The Life of Chuck, which is a film Gracie and I've talked about on here multiple times. We saw this at TIFF last year, and we were just blown away by this film. This was
Everyone needs to go see this film at least once in their life.
it is such an emotional and heartfelt story that you wouldn't necessarily expect. I think the performances in this film, it's just a huge cast, a huge ensemble cast. There is a massive dance scene in the second part of this film, and it's just so great. And I really loved it. I know Gracie really enjoyed it, so I think everyone needs to go see this. It's actually based on Stephen King's novella, so just all around so great.
Then moving back to Netflix, we have Mercy for None.
And rounding out June 6th, we have The Survivors on Netflix.
Moving on to June 10th, we have Families Like Ours, also on Netflix.
Then over on Hulu on June 10th, we have Call Her Alex, which of course is the show all about Alex Cooper, host of Call Her Daddy.
And lastly, on June 11th, we have Titan, the Ocean Gate Disaster, which is on Netflix.
Well, that concludes this week's show. That is all we have for you today. So, as always, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us to discuss everything happening in the entertainment world in film, television, and music this week. Lots covered, but we will be back always the same time next week to share more with you of the same. But until then, I'm Nicole.
I'm Gracie, and you can watch or listen to us wherever you get your podcasts on Spotify and YouTube.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.